Sipping Fiji water, no Aquafina. I'ma be that Fantano, don't care about subpoena.
Your favorite song's by Dua Lipa, old boy with a fupa. I see ya.
I'ma mute to Fantano for grabbing me. Tweeting at me, but the nigga ain't adding
Put
me.
him in the headlock.
He started stabbing me. It kinda tickled, I thought he was mad at me. He falling off. Gravity. Feeling Fantano with love like a cavity.
He tweeting all day with Matt Vanity. I get the pistol and handily. I just made it how it had to be.
If I was Fantano, I'd be suicidal. I'd be like Kirk, my lips on the rifle.
If I was Fantano, I'd get me a rifle. I kill Fantano, right hand on the Bible.
Fuck Fantano, cause that nigga sucks. Blue lives matter, I'm counting the bucks. If I see Fantano, I'm fucking him up. He got a small head, it look like a nut.
You dressed like a little boy, playing peekaboo. Whoever told you it was funny, he was getting fully high. Had a plan out and crashing straight into you. If I had one wish, it would be to turn into you.
How you a critic and ain't sell no records? There's a bag of a record, you set the world record.
I'ma do him on World Star, make sure that you record. Do him al dente, he need dental record. I'ma hold him down while you shoot at his teeth. Quick, hold him up, I'ma shoot at his knees. Shoot at his balls, I don't want him to pee. I think he's a mummy, why won't he bleed?
Catch that nigga, right hand nigga Steve. Popping the perk and those.
What's up?
Is this a Fantano
That's not.
diss track?
That is a. It's yeah. This isn't gonna be funny in 2 weeks when everyone's seen this, but that's been making me laugh.
That
all
shit's
day.
gold.
Because yeah, Sam Hyde's Fantano diss.
What? That's Sam Hyde?
Yeah. That's him. Him
Oh
and
my God.
Christ Dillinger.
That shit's fucking gold. Shoot at his balls, I don't want him to pee.
Shoot out his balls. I don't want him to pee is my favorite part. Yeah, for sure. There's
Oh,
one
boy.
part where he said where this Christ Dillinger fellow says, if there was a faggot world record, you'd have the world record. Yeah, we're back. What's up with you?
I don't know, just kind of working. I went to a wedding yesterday. I didn't shoot this one. I went as a guest for the first time since I've started shooting weddings. And the animal magnetism, dude, it's in full force, man.
The what?
It was the animal magnetism, the fucking alpha man. They could smell it on me. I got pulled out of the dance floor not once but twice. They're like, I need to dance with you. They said, and they being all women.
What was his names? Oh, damn it.
Oh, very nice, very nice. the classic switcheroo. The old Levitt. Anyway.
Yeah.
I went to this wedding where I was like, I'm completely numb. My worst suspicions have been confirmed. I was at this wedding. This person who I've known since I was 5, and I sit down in my seat for the ceremony, and instantaneously my eyes kind of glaze over. Because basically any portion of the day that was not me socializing with people that I kind of knew was just basically a complete blur. I've shot too many weddings. They mean nothing to me anymore. The sanctity of marriage means nothing to me anymore.
Were you up here? Where is this?
No. My friend moved down to Texas as well, and
okay.
She's in Dallas. So okay. I went to her wedding and felt nothing during the ceremony part. And I put on my best. I was like, there was a period where I'm like, is this what it's like to be a psychopath?
Total twisted sociopath.
No. Because obviously I feel like normal human emotions, but because I've seen so many people get married, I had to fake it. I'm like, this is the part where I'm supposed to be smiling and clapping. it was like what it's like when you read the definition of a psychopath. It's like, yeah, they emulate human emotions. So that's what I did. And for those portions, obviously I was having fun other than that, but like let's a couple of things. Going to a wedding, being the best looking person there, that's pretty good. and then a bunch of people who you haven't seen in 8 years, who you like. I had like an ex-girlfriend there from like to the point where you can't even really call them like an ex-girlfriend. You know, we dated in high school. That doesn't even count. And then girls that had crushes on me in high school. I was on fucking cloud 9. I had bridesmaids getting upset with each other. Other than that, I don't have much going on.
Upset.
What about you, my friend?
What about me? I wrote down some. I've been jotting down topics so that I don't forget things for things that I want to talk about on the podcast. Yeah, because I have some good I have things, you know, I have my observations on your human culture.
Of course, yes.
Just on you silly beings, on you humans.
Yeah, you live. You're like You're like Scarlett Johansson in Under the Skin. You're a fucking alien, and you just stop.
Speaking of Sam Hyde, it's like his "I'm an alien" video. I'm an alien, and he's basically just doing that bit. I have some things that I noted when I was up at the cabin with my pops recently. Have you ever had a meal cooked for you by a couple?
I don't know that I have.
Like, couples cooking sucks. It's and also, like,
this is your father and his wife.
And his wife, yeah. Like, couples shouldn't cook together. Like, one person should be.
No, you maybe at the most somebody will do one. They'll do separate dishes. Like, somebody will make a side. But just like two people while somebody makes the main entree.
Two people in a kitchen is bad, but just like the
no, somebody will be on the grill and somebody will be in the kitchen.
Yeah, that would be fine. But yeah, like, two people trying to cook is just fucking. And then I'm just sitting there, like, while they like argue about like how much a tablespoon of chives is. Like, oh
my god!
And it's like, dude, put in as many they're chives.
They're like.
And he puts,
you know what
like
a chive tastes like.
Yeah, you can't. Who has ever said like there's too much chives in this? You know, it's just shit like that. And so yeah, couples cooking is miserable.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah, it's they both suck at cooking. My dad has owned several restaurants. He does not know how to cook at all.
Yeah, well, pizza's barely cooking, so like that doesn't even count.
Yeah.
Wow. No wonder that didn't work out. Small fucking wonder. Yeah, the only person who is crazy enough to hire him is the biggest fucking lunatic we both know. So. Yeah, it's like, yeah, if you're a restaurant owner, it's like, yeah, Declan's dad is who I need in my kitchen.
Mm-hmm. First, yeah, it's just a bunch of
no
teens,
disrespect for your dad.
It's a bunch of his teen sons, and then also my dad.
Yeah, a bunch of his teen sons who are so blowed they can barely stand up, and fucking. and then also the concept of waking up to dad farts so loud that you can hear them from the next floor. He really is a catch. He really is a catch.
I woke up at like 5 a.m. the next morning to just upstairs hearing.
I think your stepmom might end up miserying him. I think she's building up to like she's wanted to kill her entire life, but she's never had the motivation.
Just like echoing in the toilet, I can hear it from downstairs. Oh, so fucking funny.
God, dude. That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
I loved it.
Well, that's a great trip.
Yeah.
What else you got going on, buddy?
I got I have the Mosin right here.
Oh, you bought a Mosin.
You didn't see my pic
just in time. No, I've been too busy. Just in time for the Russian ammo ban, so it's gonna be impossible to get.
Luckily, this one came with
54.
Yeah, 54R. Yeah, but this one came with 200 rounds of ammo. So.
Okay, there you go. How is that? Is that fun?
Well, my only I haven't fired it yet. But first of all, these things are long. First of all,
yeah.
It's not in great condition. But and also my main concern buying it was I knew the guys at the gun store were probably making fun of me behind my back. Who the fuck is buying a Mosin in 2021? Man, they were good when they were $100, $60, $40, whatever.
What did you pay?
I paid $450, all the ammo included. Comes with a sling.
I mean, that ammo though. I mean, like that's a like lot of ammo.
$120 value by itself. Yeah, so it's
absolutely.
It's it's in.
If you're actually getting 60-cent rounds, 7.62, 5.54R, You're doing all right. Nice. I joined a gun range. Or I joined a gun club, which has a range where I just have unlimited access to it. And now I believe that makes me eligible for the civilian marksmanship program, so I can have an M1 Garand shipped to my door. So that's which I'm probably gonna do just because like
an M1 Garand, or just like you can have guns shipped to your door.
No, it is specifically an M1 Garand through their surplus through the civilian marksmanship program. So like if you're a member of a club that is affiliated with the NRA, you are able to get them shipped to your door. So I'm excited about that. But I need to find something more economical to shoot, because I just dropped I just picked up 500 rounds of 5.56 ammo. Yeah. And like I need to make that last a while. So I'm probably end up going to either pick up a 22 conversion for my AR or buy a dedicated 22 handgun, because I think that sounds like so much fucking fun, having a little 22 handgun.
Yeah, I almost bought an SKS, and it was like, actually, that ammo is not cheap anymore, so
no,
I won't be doing that. There was an SKS for sale in my neighborhood.
I keep fantasizing about your Mini 14.
Oh,
that's one of the smoothest shooting guns I've ever shot. That is a gorgeous fucking firearm.
I love that. I love the way that thing looks, and also somehow I'm good at it. Like the sights don't even make sense to me, but I was hitting the small target from like 50 yards with I have no training. I suck. And I don't even know how the sights are supposed to work, really. It's like a big circle with 3 things in it. And I kept hitting it. Yeah. So, yeah, that thing, you can bump fire it with no modifications easily. It's fucking sick. Yeah, so now that I have a 22, I have thing that shoots, 5.56, 223, whatever. I have like an AR, not equivalent, but like a thing that gets that job done. And I have bolt action thing that fires gigantic bullets.
Big bullets.
You should see the cartridge, the 54Rs. Those things are wild looking. So now I just need to. This is all hypothetical, but like, if I were some kind of criminal, and I had like some friend living in like some Midwestern state, I would probably drive out there and have him straw by me like a 1911 and like a Colt Detective or something. But I don't know. That's just like a dream I had. But that'd be
that would be against the law.
That would be against the law, probably. That's probably a felony.
And like it's sort of like
it's sort of like buying 2 rifles with the wrong address on your license,
or if you're like were to somehow like if sometimes I fantasize about going on the darknet, going to White House Market, and then
that's probably what they would call a website like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and then if you were to maybe use the search functionality, I always thought it would be really, really funny to completely
I always thought it'd be really funny to buy like 2 grams of like amphetamine powder. I don't know.
Yeah, it would be a pretty good joke. It's a fun little fantasy I have, where I'm like, perhaps I just get 5 pounds of weed mailed to me in a blister pack.
A pallet of weed.
Yeah, I think that would be just an absolute kick, Not that I would do that because it's against the law.
That would be ridiculous.
I've certainly never entertained the idea of buying bulk psychedelics and then selling them. That would be, against the law.
Bulk research chemicals and for like $50 and then making 200 pills out of them and selling them for $20 a pop and making insane amounts of money.
Yeah,
I've never even considered that.
No, certainly not.
That because it would
that would be against the law. That would be a criminal act.
I would never go to a high school and sell those and make like $300 a week.
Yeah, I would certainly never retire after 5 years having
selling legal substances,
gray market research chemicals that are just far enough off to where, I mean, that's, obviously you can do that if you're like a smoke shop or something, you're selling Delta 8 THC because that's legal. But what I would be doing, purchasing drugs off the darknet, that would be illegal and not anything I would want to be a party of. You ever just like fantasize? Okay.
You keep fantasizing.
You ever-
I gotta go rinse my hands off because I have to obsessively wash my hands out because I spilled beer on myself.
Go. Fuck fucking Aaron Rodgers, man. How are you gonna do me like this? I draft Aaron Rodgers in the 6th round of my fantasy draft, not in the league that actually matters. And you do me like this. You get pulled for fucking Jordan Love. I know you're gonna pull it together. You're the reigning regular season MVP. But really, you're gonna play with my fucking heart like this? My Bills too. Honestly, this has been a shit week of football all around. My fucking heart. Like, how am I supposed to deal with the Bills, the Browns, and the Pack all losing in one go? What happened to the working man finally achieving something? What happened to all these small market teams making something of themselves? But no, I guess the Packers have been one of the most successful franchises in the history of football since their inception and are universally beloved. But what about little teams like us? Are we not allowed happiness? It seems like we're not allowed happiness. What else we got? What other games happened? Fuck the Steelers. If you're a Steelers fan, I hope you get gang raped. What else? Yeah, honestly.
Who are the
who else is in
Bengals?
the sites? The Bengals. They play in Cincinnati.
That's football.
Yeah,
I saw someone saying they won something. That's why I asked.
the Bengals
Yeah.
did in fact beat the Minnesota Vikings today.
The Bungles did not bungle. That's what they
Nope,
said.
not today.
Great.
That's true.
Happy for them.
So anyway, what I was saying is, do you ever just see somebody who you know that it's morally reprehensible to even have these fantasies, but you just imagine them in another world, not this world, in this fantasy world, just being beaten by an entire group of people, just utterly senseless, and you just sit and ooh, this just brings me joy. Imagining this person who has wronged me directly in no way at all, watching them mangled, but with crowbars.
Usually when I think about things that I would want to prevent happening and would want to put a stop to, I usually think of putting a knife up through the bottom of someone's chin. I don't know why it's that move specifically, but that's a very visceral, very intimate kill to me. That if that happened to someone that I did not like, I would want that to stop.
That's the one of course, because that would be bad. That would be against the law.
Yeah, just because we have our differences doesn't mean they have to have a fucking
right.
Just a fucking
yeah. I definitely
butterfly
would
knife
never
being put up right through the bottom of their stupid fucking mouth so they can't talk anymore.
Yeah, I've certainly never considered just the prospect of how nice it would feel to feel somebody's face just completely dismantled underneath your boot. If you had a really thick boot on and you just wound up and just kicked them really. And obviously you've already won the fight if they're on the ground and they're in this compromised position, But just, again, I would never want this, but just thinking about what it would feel like to feel the toe of your boot cratering their skull as you wind up and soccer kick them in the face.
One thing I'm always really worried about happening to someone that I've had differences with is for them if they happen to be biting the corner of a countertop and then if I accidentally put my elbow as hard as I could to the back of their head, that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Or if
separating
they were,
their entire head in half.
Or perhaps if they were, they were let's say their car was parked up next to a building, and they opened their car door and start to they're about to step into their car and they're on their phone and they're not noticing. And I'm also in that parking lot, and I were to drive my car into them and pin them against the wall of the building, so that they're still alive. But if I were to move the car, they would die pretty much instantly. I hate thinking about those things because I don't want that to happen to anybody.
All right. We gotta chill. And
you know who I've been thinking about a lot lately. I was gonna. And again, unfortunately, some of the people that just come to mind, I just can't help it. They're just certain mouthpieces of.
I've been thinking a lot about Joe Biden and just how easy it is. You could probably punch him in pretty much any area of his body,
Yeah.
and he would just crumple. So that's really worries me because his security.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Why come you broke my leg? Fucking. What's It would be a real shame if like Joe Biden were at a bowling alley, and somebody were to like just accidentally. Those situations where people like accidentally let go of the ball and it goes backwards.
Oops.
Yeah, oops, and it goes right. He breaks both of his legs and he crumples and hits his head on the ground. And then there's like hemorrhaging.
His head's in a crater.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Well, listen here, fat. You just broke both my legs.
Damn,
and that's
Johnny.
a bad deal. Yeah, that would be awful. I don't know where I'm at right now. I'm in a good headspace. I'm just everybody's in the fucking line of fire right now. Doesn't
No
matter
one's
who
safe.
you are.
Grah.
Nope.
Oh
boy.
Yeah. I don't know. Steven and I watched a movie that I want to talk about, but I'm going to be talking about it for like half an hour because it was revelatory. So maybe we should. That's
fine. I'll start. I'll start playing Smash now, and you can talk to me.
We should start talking about Odd Taxi, and then we should, if we need to take a break at some point, then I will talk about it. But
we'll reward the viewers or the listeners by.
Actually, there's one more thing before we get into it. I need to talk about something that I experienced. I don't normally read manga. And I don't think you will believe I spent 2 days this past week instead of working reading all 140 chapters of do you remember Maho Shoujo Site?
Yes.
Maho Shoujo Saito?
Yeah.
I read all of it.
Why?
The whole thing. I could not put it down. I could not stop. It's retarded, but it's like what I didn't realize when we watched that first episode of the anime was that it didn't actually go far enough, and that it's supposed to be just like pure exploitation and like silly nonsense. And I just kept reading, and man, it is crazy. It just keeps getting crazier. Like, remember how like one part it just cuts to her brother beating the shit out of her? Like, She gets horrifically bullied in school. And then she's eating dinner at home.
To the point where like she's like basically dead.
Yeah, just like getting like just like maimed at school.
Yeah,
and then she comes home and her brother just goes into her bedroom at night and just gives her body shots.
Yeah,
to relieve his stress.
It's rough. It's a rough life, buddy.
And then later in the series, the brother turns into this big bad. He gets one of the magical girl items that's basically Gias. It's the Lelouch power. Every power in this is blatantly stolen from something else, and he becomes a big bad guy. And but then he gets captured and put into a rape dungeon by another even bigger bad guy with even more magical girl items.
Oh, good.
And it just keeps. It's everyone ends up being related. Every twist, every answer to some mystery ends up making the world less interesting. I just kept reading it. I could not stop. It was enthralling. And then the ending's a reset ending. It's not good, but man, and then there's stuff it's like a spin-off of another thing, and I don't even think you can understand the ending without reading his other insanely long fucking magical girl series. It was an ordeal.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed some fine literature.
Everyone has like a time travel ability, so everyone's just getting fucking killed and raped, and then time gets rewound, and then they get killed again. It's just.
I've been rereading the Doom Patrol comics by Grant Morrison. It's the best thing I've ever read in my entire life. But anyway,
Yeah.
It possessed me to watch the trailer for the fucking DC online, whatever DC streaming service is. They did an adaptation of it. That I watched the trailer and I was like, I've heard people say for a couple of years now the Doom Patrol series is actually pretty good.
I saw
and
someone say that the other day. Yeah.
Oh my god! I watched the trailer and I'm like, it's immediately apparent that actually nobody fucking understands what this comic's about at all, and it's like I felt secondhand embarrassment watching this thing because I'm like, anybody who thinks that this is punching with anywhere near the same fucking stratosphere as the Doom Patrol comics a fucking simpleton, because it is like this is the trailer alone, and I know that's probably not fair, but fuck you. Because I can tell like superficially based on like the decisions that they made that they don't understand the dynamic of the characters. They don't understand who the characters are. They don't understand what the characters need to interact. They completely misunderstand the entire thing and have taken it for the things that are supposed to be subtext are pushed to the forefront, and the things that are in the forefront are pulled back to the subtext. And it seems like they're only focused on the fact that like everybody's like a queer character or something because it's made now and not in 1989, you know, where it's like one of the characters is it's a man and a woman who are fused, and then there's this mysterious third entity that's part of the same body that's like a dark spirit or something. And their way of dealing with this is by what they do is they make that character just a gay man who has a male voice, and he superficially has like he superficially has like he basically absorbs a woman, and the forefront of the personality is just this gay guy, where in the comic it is two people who are completely fused, like their souls are fused, and they're trying to reconcile being a new person while also like trying to understand how there are these two different sides of their personality. It's the best thing I've ever read in my entire life, and they just completely misunderstood it. Oh my god, there's a character Crazy Jane, who in the comic is this like. So Crazy Jane's gimmick is that she has a bunch of different. She has split personalities, and each of the personalities has their own power, and it's like. They do that. So in the comic, it's handled in a way that feels really organic, and she slides in and out of the personalities like basically seamlessly, and you can immediately tell which personality she's in based on the way that they're speaking and everything. But she's not like a super edgy sort of like I'm so fucked up type of character. It's like she doesn't even really understand what's happening to her most of the time. And in the show, they just completely cash in on like she's fucking twisted. Crazy Jane is twisted. You know, she's twisted because she's got all these personalities, and one of them is a serial killer.
Yeah, one is just like fucking crazy. I can be your angel.
Well, the thing is like Crazy Jane is like endearing and genuinely is an endearing character in the comic who is complicated, and you feel empathy for, and she can be simultaneously cute and mysterious and innocent. And in the show, they abandon all of that to make her a boot-wearing fucking feminazi, fucking like girl power character, which is dog shit. It's dog shit.
No.
Speaking of dog shit, have you seen the fucking trailer for that new Matrix movie?
Oh my god! I mean, I'm not the one to like. You
don't even like Matrix.
I've never liked the Matrix. I mean, I saw it for the first time in like 2014. That's not a good time to see the Matrix for the first time. But yeah, I never thought the Matrix was. I mean, I get that it was influential, and I get that it was. It had it was iconic in a lot of ways, and man, this would really segue really well into the movie I watched. But we're trying to save it for later. We really need to talk about Taxi. No, we can't right now. We can't.
Okay, well, okay, so but
yeah, the Matrix,
you do not care for the Matrix.
I don't care for the Matrix. I've heard even people who like the Matrix don't like the sequels.
I like the sequels.
Okay, sure. But yeah, I mean, people in 1999 being like, "Whoa, what if the world wasn't fucking whoa?" And I don't like wire work, and I had
Yeah, understandable.
nothing in that, nothing was mind blowing, and yeah, I don't know, but yeah, that new one is soulless, as they would say.
The trailer. The enigma of Keanu Reeves, a man who I think is genuinely good in several movies. One of them being Point Break.
Steven and I were just talking about Point Break. I demanded that Steven watch Point Break. I might rewatch it too. Yeah,
I watched it semi recently, and it is better than I remember. And
wow.
And because he is genuinely good in that. I know that you didn't care for Speed. I think he's at least serviceable in Speed.
I think he's fine in Speed. I don't think Speed's a very good movie.
He just like, I cannot take him seriously as the beard wearing, long haired, badass type. It's just it's so wrong. Like, his deliveries are so flat. And like in the trailer, I've never laughed out loud at a single line delivery so hard in my entire life, as he walks up and sees like Trinity, the Trinity character in this movie, and he says, "Hi." And the way that he says "hi" is so, how do you fuck up that line delivery? Like, how does
the point of the first Matrix is that he's like this office dork who's discovering the craziest fucking worlds possible.
Every man.
And he's a total dweeb, and that's why he's like, him doing insanely cool things has, it has a juxtaposition to it that works. But now with the beard, like, he's supposed to be a clean-cut little baby-faced man, and even though he's older now, he shouldn't have the beard. But everyone has to be like, oh, it's like, whoa, John Wick plus the Matrix equals take my money. That's a
big plebe test right there. I have assembled a veritable minefield of plebe tests that people need to walk through.
That's
for me to
one.
be. And that's up there for sure. It's
when
like,
you see a Keanu and you're like, whoa, what if it's like he's John Wick in this movie too? And it's like, all right, you go to the pit, you go to the salt mines.
And the thing is, it's not even. It's like the John Wick fetishism and Keanu fetishism. As somebody that likes Keanu Reeves in some movies, Keanu fetishism is that's one of the earliest of the mines. If you step into that one, it's a glaring. That mine has a glowing red dot on it, like a fucking video game. And if you step onto that one, fucking, you deserve to be blown up. Whereas there's some that are a little bit more subtle down the line. You know what I mean? There are some plebe tests that they're a little bit more esoteric, and you're going to have to puzzle your way out of them.
Look for them a little bit, yeah.
But that one should be obvious. It's like that one in fucking one of the biggest ones where I just, my eyes roll back into my head is Rogue One. Star Wars Rogue One. It is perhaps the single best plebe test I have ever. It immediately allows you to filter out so many opinions. You can just discard entire, where you just it goes from, I'm gonna have a conversation where I'm genuinely engaging with somebody, to a conversation where I'm nodding my head. I'm like, oh cool, in the span of seconds. The seconds of yeah, where I'm like,
oh, you got distracted by it's cool tech. There's cool technology in the movie, and that makes it good.
It's like, oh wow, X-Wings. it's like
they develop how the technology works. It's like, whoa, it's like the same stuff, but it's like gritty.
You've just that's a huge one. Like, that's and the amount of people that get caught in this huge net that I've set up.
Mm-hmm.
But this is my spiders. My filter, the amount of filters people have to pass through. It used to be a lot more than it is, but I really refined it. I think that's the difference between myself when I was younger and myself now, is that I used to have this filter that was it was almost too narrow because it was like a lot of individual components. But now I feel like I can catch most people in about 2 or 3 things, and that's a big one.
Yeah, I have also found the perfect filter, and it's the movie I watched. But we'll talk about it later. Stay tuned.
You fuck! You're leaving me in suspense.
The perfect pleb filter. But we need to talk about the show you've just seen now.
Yes.
That I watched back in spring, and that I wanted to talk about when the buzz was really going, and when I had a lot to say about it, and now I've forgotten everything and no one's talking about it anymore. So let's talk about Odd Taxi.
Odd Taxi.
Or Odd Taxi. One word.
I'm thinking we're Odd Taxi.
That was, what were you thinking, Sam Raimi? Yes. So, spring of this year, Oriental Light and Magic is the studio. It's based on a manga, I think. Yeah. What did you just finished it. What did you think of Odd Taxi?
Taxi is a really tightly built, super compelling piece of what's ostensibly crime storytelling. It's just a really, really tightly wound little piece. It gives me sort of like best seasons of Breaking Bad kind of vibes, where it's like really like you want to see what the next turn is. It gets a little silly for me at times, but I was pretty thoroughly invested in what was going on. I thought that the second that they pulled back the animal layer, I was having a really hard time getting over how ugly everything was. Because I think the aesthetic of the show is pretty nice. Like I think all the character designs are really well defined, and the world feels pretty tight, you know. But boy, once they go to the human, like once the gig is up and there's the big rug pull and it's revealed what the main character's situation is, it is profoundly ugly to look at. But yeah, it's just a kind of like a fun sort of pulpy crime story. I found it to be pretty damn compelling. Well, what about you, my man?
Yeah, it's when people figured out that twist was coming, there was speculation that they were going to go full live action, and I was really pulling for that. They didn't. They did transition out of the animals. I didn't really notice that it looked like the show was already like the art style is fine, but it's very plain and kind of bare bones. Like it's very substance over style. There's almost no animation. There's no like animation set pieces where it's like, well, look at this animation.
No.
It's like almost entirely dialogue. There's like
there's so many scenes that are just two people in a cab driving somewhere talking, and
right.
and it's like, and you know it's rare to see genuinely compelling, like just straight up character work dialogue in anime. And another thing is it's genuinely rare to see something that's actually really funny. Like there are moments in this that made me fucking laugh out loud. Like everything going on with Shirakawa's the what is she an alpaca?
Yes.
Everything going on with her in her dance self-defense shit is so goddamn funny, and every time
it pays off at the end.
Yes, it does. That is when it pays off. That is when I lost my shit. I'm like, that's actually a really fucking funny gag. Yeah, I don't know. It's a really kind of mellow pace, and it reminds me of like good pieces of crime fiction that I've seen. And it's like it's just a pretty serious kind of. I wouldn't call it a page turner because it's not a fucking book, but like you know what I mean, where you're like, I want to see what the next. I need to know what's happening next because I like all these individual pieces. I think that some of the storylines don't necessarily resolve in the most satisfying way.
Yeah, there's one in particular that I have a grievance with that we'll get to.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of it is like, because you start watching it and it's like, okay, it's about a guy in a cab, so like maybe it's going to be kind of episodic. Someone gets in his cab and
Yeah.
something happens every episode with that. But you realize quickly that it's very set up and payoff based, and everything's interconnected
Yep.
in a way that's eventually going
It's
to
hard serialized narrative where
Very
it's like
much. And
it's almost like Rube Goldberg style, where it's all building upon previous shit that's happened.
Yeah, and I think the
Escalating.
best, just in my opinion, the best execution of that is my favorite episode, which is Tanaka's backstory. Where
Tanaka is the skull mask guy.
yes, he's a crazy.
Yeah, that's the best episode.
It is, because yeah, they we were going through the life story of this one character, and he encounters such it's one of the best like build-ups for a character who just snaps, because he really earns it. Like he's really justified in totally snapping, because the bad luck he encounters is so like almost like magic, or like he's cursed, that he just totally loses it.
That's definitely a thing. We're like the things that happen to him, and like the things that he's clinging to, losing them over and over and over again. It feels completely organic.
Like
one of the ones.
Several things that get set up in it's episode 4 is his backstory, and several things that get set up in the all the previous episodes all converge into this one character fucking losing his mind. Like we see him almost get run over in one episode, and then you realize like what's happening there, and that it's like this thing he's been obsessively working towards, and he loses his phone at the absolute worst possible moment, and then he finds a gun that one of the characters buried. It's like, oh shit, it's it's all set up fantastically, and his soundtrack is just this fucking crazy wall of noise that I love.
Yep.
I have it right here.
Yeah. Ripper. Yeah.
It's so loud in the mix. It's great.
It reminds me a lot of this is going to be a fucking really weird comparison, but follow me here. It reminds me a lot of Arrested Development, where Arrested Development starts. Each season starts with these seemingly disparate events that all culminate as all being part of a greater occurrence, basically. That's what this show is. Is like there's like all of these different elements of crime surrounding this one gang, basically. Everybody participating in these crimes is unknowingly part of this same sort of criminal web that's occurring.
And it's also one of those shows that like everything that happens in every character is sort of based off of some very recent late 2010s technological or pop culture phenomena, and it's one of the few shows that actually doesn't feel forced, and it doesn't do it very ham-fistedly. Like it does, there's a character that's really obsessed with getting huge with going viral.
Yeah, you got that guy. You got the idol obsessed
the
guy.
Mega idol fan, and it's like the idol guy isn't even the biggest loser in the show, and he's actually kind of likable. It's like they don't. It's not one of those shows where it's just like trying to fit in popular, just stuff that's happening with the kids, with the apps and the iPhones. So it's
also like different elements of criminal behavior and the intermingling of like pop culture and how crime can get involved in there. The weirdness of like being a low end pop idol. Being on like the lowest end idol group, and it's like, the temptation where it's like, okay, I've got this one mega fan. I wish I had more of these mega fans. How can I cultivate them? And then how do you exploit them for maximum profit? And like, it's just fucking tight, man. It's got like such a great understanding of all of these. I think the goofiest thing in the entire show is probably. I don't feel like any of the mob stuff has much weight, frankly, and I think it's maybe a little mildly confusing. but everything else is fucking awesome. And we haven't even spoken about the main character yet, and how he's like this perfect.
Otokawa. By the way, it's
Otokawa.
odd taxi. Otokawa.
Yes,
you get it.
It's like he's the perfect sort of mopey protagonist, you know, who he's a likable kind of schlubby dude with a heart of gold, who is like has this very specific set of skills that fits him in nicely into this, you know, into this world, and allows him to pull all of these different strings that people don't even realize exist, you know.
But he's very like subdued.
Yes. Yeah, he's the person that everybody would suspect the least, you know, and that's why he's able to manipulate all of these different angles, because people are literally just sitting in his car fucking blabbing, you know, because they don't think anything of him, and that's where he gets all of his power from, is like like how everybody's got these loose lips, you know, and like they're just they feel comfortable to say whatever.
Yeah, he can convince everyone that he just doesn't care, because
right,
for a lot of stuff he actually doesn't. He is pretty just sort of jaded and just kind of like it's just kind of had it.
I liked here. I did have one complaint, which is that they made the kitty idols too cute, and it makes me confused, and I don't like that.
It's supposed to
they made.
Yeah, it's funny that every one of these cute puppy dogs is a fucking hot 18-year-old.
Oh yeah. Like they just
sense.
Unfortunately made them all too sexy, and I didn't like that. I did not like that all of the little cats were so sexy.
They're dogs.
The one they're cats.
One of them is a dog, I think. The white one.
One of
the black.
Yeah,
cats.
I guess she's a dog. That's a cat, and then the calico.
Oh yeah, the calico is also a cat. Right.
Which one is your favorite? I liked the calico.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, which one isn't evil?
They're all pretty evil in their own way. The calico is not like a mustache twirling villain. They're just kind of engaging in manipulation, which is it's not to the same level as like a murderer or somebody who's about to murder someone.
I guess the one that died is cute. She probably didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
So
God damn, there's a lot of and taking me back to like the other kinds, like other TV shows, like Western TV shows that are about people trying to get themselves out of situations and putting themselves into even worse situations. It's that kind of snowball effect, that it's that same kind of hook. And I think it's really effective at doing those hooks, but at the same time, I've seen so many shows like that's kind of honestly the curse of like really high quality television these days, is that everything is so focused on the beats and the timing of everything is so similar across shows. You know, like if you watch like Ozark or Breaking Bad or like Sopranos and things like that, the way that any sort of crime show really, the pacing and like the plotting is really similar between them, and obviously there are different aesthetic components and the characters are different, and they're all very enjoyable in their own ways, but they're that sort of hook-based crime show has a formula, and I kind of started to feel that formula working towards the end of this show. However, it's still goddamn entertaining, and that fourth episode in particular was where I'm like, this is clearly on a different level than basically anything else coming out right now as far as anime. Like it is a focus on plot and pacing that you just
in
do
terms
not see.
of good structuring. Yeah, it really outdoes anything else that's come out recently. Yeah, so let's see, what else is there to talk about? So, the one problem I had is it turns out, I found out over the course of watching this, that there is very important story stuff that in order to figure out, you have to listen to a separate audio drama that you have to listen to on YouTube or something.
What?
So in a lot of the scenes of this show, there is a pen in the background.
Yes.
It turns out that pen is bugged. and it is being used by the Giraffe Kid, who's a fan of the Manzai
Yes.
duo, to investigate. He's independently investigating this whole story and documenting it. And if we were talking about this right after I had seen the show, I would remember what important stuff he had that you had to look up elsewhere. But it's like, yeah, this is not in the show. You have to find that elsewhere. It is something important, and I can't remember what the fuck it was. That you need to listen.
Yeah,
to
because they did jump to that pen, and I'm like, what the fuck is the relevance of this pen?
Yeah. So
Which,
I think it's a huge mistake to leave that out of the show and have characters like I don't think the Manzai do. I don't think the comedians had any purpose really, except for like being kind of a red herring because they ended up not really being involved in any crime. So you should have been focusing on the fucking Giraffe Kid instead of them. So I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, I'll have to look into that because I that was one of my complaints was like I thought there were two characters who things didn't get fully resolved. So obviously there's the comedians, and then
their shit gets resolved. I think it's just
but it doesn't get integrated. Is the thing? Like
yeah,
it doesn't
not very well. No.
It's almost like fucking a complete side story, but
yeah.
And then the other one is I did not think that Skull Mask. I did not buy where he went from the end of. I don't buy where the end of his arc went.
What happened to him again?
Nothing happens to him. He just gets his life together. and he just goes back to work and he's happy now. And I'm like, I don't buy it.
Is there no reason for the
he shoots Dobu.
Yeah.
And that sets him off, and he's satisfied now, I guess.
He did shoot the guy that scammed him and set his life off track, so I guess that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I want to see a little bit more than that.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
You know what show's got a really bad one? You know what show's really frustrating? Is I watched all of Mr. Robot, and Mr. Robot is like the stuff that in Mr. Robot that's really good is incredible. Like any sort of like people who are any sort of CEO and like talking to fucking like president of a company shit. Like anybody who's high, like has a lot of power and influence. All of those scenes are amazing. But one of the biggest fucking problems with that show is that they throw so many red herrings that are unfair. And that's something that really bothers me when I watch like crime media is like you cheat. I don't like it when I feel like I'm being cheated, and this show has none of that.
Right.
Like this show to me, I never once felt like I was being misled in a way that was inorganic. And that's something that happens in Mr. Robot, and especially in the final season. There's an entire character who in Mr. Robot for the first 3 seasons, this character is one of the main characters. And the way that he leaves the show in the 4th season is supposed to be like it intentionally misleads the audience into believing that the story is going a particular way, and then that is never addressed. And it's the biggest cheat ever, and it left a really bad taste in my mouth actually, because I quite liked Mr. Robot. I think there's a lot of like really obnoxious aesthetic components. I think they make a lot of bad decisions, like aesthetically. And the characters are obnoxious because they're a particular type of person that is obnoxious. But I like the show on the whole. But god fucking damn, there's like this one that basically it's almost that you're led to believe that this character is abducted by fucking aliens, because that's a thing that can happen in this. That was like an option basically that was on the table in Mr. Robot. It's like there's some sort of paranormal thing that's going on that is leading these people in these directions, and he experiences like these flashing lights as he's dying, and he gets like sucked into a void, or that's what it feels like.
Could it be explained that is he or the main character, isn't it supposed to be that they're like constantly in like Adderall psychosis and have been up for 8 days? Like,
this character's not involved in that.
No,
this character's not involved. This character would not be subjected
why he would be like hallucinating.
No, he would not be subjected to this unreliable narrative stuff. Because all of that stuff makes sense, and in like when it occurs, you're like, good rug pull, like that's like it works.
Yeah.
But for this one character, it's very frustrating. That show also has a huge problem where when it's done with a character, narratively, rather than finding a way to get them a satisfying resolution, they just kill them. Spoilers for Mr. Robot. I watched it like a year ago at this point, so I'm kind of going like off of my memory. But with Mr. Robot, by the end of the show, there are throughout the course of the show, you probably have about a dozen, maybe 15 major players. At the end of the show, there are like 2 that are still alive. It just kills everybody. Like Sam Esmail just has this fetish with killing characters when they're no longer relevant to the plot. It just feels like inorganic at a certain point. Anyway, this show has none of those problems because it's fucking really tight and honestly brilliantly done. I don't know if it's necessarily doing anything that's like new. I get shades of Do Ra 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 and obviously the Western shows that I referenced. However, that doesn't make it any less entertaining, and I would absolutely recommend this to anybody who is like there's a certain type of person that is completely turned off by dramatic animated content. And if you aren't, I think you would have a fucking good ass time with this because it really scratches that itch. You know?
It's probably a good one to watch twice. Even it's probably better on the second watch because there's so much stuff that like you probably just did not catch at all. I was just grabbing screenshots, and that fucking eraser is in like the first episode. I never knew that that eraser was set up too. There's what did you think of Yano? You like him?
Yano is the manager.
No, he's the Yakuza guy.
Oh yes, Yano. Okay. Sorry, I had a bit of a hard time remembering everybody's name, but
yeah.
Of the instances where I've seen that done, it's probably my favorite. I really like it. It's a quirk that could get kind of annoying, but obviously he drops it at a certain point in a fit of frustration, which is humorous. And then it's a nice bit of levity, you know, in a lot of those scenes that are he gets to do a lot of the more brutal stuff in the show. So I like he's coming to clean. It is really fucking funny that he's coming to clean up the dead body of a fucking 18-year-old pop idol, and he's still rapping.
He's always rapping, yeah. And it's like Japanese rap, so it sounds like shit.
Like, yeah, right, yeah, because it's like
all.
I loved it, and I could think of a couple other instances of that. I feel like he's on beat at least though, when he because they give him the same beat every time.
Yeah, the soundtrack also good. We should mention a lot of the soundtrack is very, very nice.
I found that entertaining. I liked his sidekick as well. The big was he a panther or something or a tiger?
There's a polar bear.
His enforcer.
Yeah. Tracksuit polar bear is a funny design.
Yep.
And Otokawa has his arc where he has a childhood problem that's caused him to gives him insomnia, and our conclusion is he redoes his traumatic incident and drives the car into the water, and that fixes him, I guess.
It's a great sequence.
Yeah. It's literally because everyone's got to. All these characters have to somehow converge on one event, and they all witness this car driving off pier. That's a good conclusion.
This really does remind me of Do Ra Ra Ra. Do Ra 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 has a lot of things like that where it's a bunch of people involved in crime converge. I think this is probably better. I like Do Ra 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 a lot, but I think that it's maybe a little neutered. I think that this is a little harder and a little bit more mature. Weirdly to say about a show that's animals,
all cute animals.
Yeah, but I'd have to watch that again to have a genuine, fair opinion on it. But Yeah. That sequence is fucking awesome, and it's just like make all of these instances of things being dropped into bodies of water
Oh
or
yeah.
oil.
Oh, and then you notice that the murderer, she's dropping something in hot oil, whereas everyone else's is water.
Yes. Yep.
That's a great.
Yeah.
That's a great.
Also,
title.
the second that they revealed that they had recast, or I suppose replaced the murdered girl, I'm like, this other girl absolutely killed her. There's no way it's anything other than that.
Oh well, yeah, the only thing I was thinking is like they could that could be a red herring, because it's like too obvious. But then it just was her.
Yeah, I just didn't think that, which I'm fine with. Not everything has to be the most intricately like. You don't have to elude me all the time, as long as when it happens, I'm like, ooh, that's pretty good.
Right. Yeah.
So. It's fine. You don't have to trick me all the time. But if you trick me enough times, I'll be happy.
Trick me enough. Well, what the hell else? What was I gonna say?
Did you drink did you drink scotch?
I've had some scotch. Yeah.
I've been drinking scotch recently, just to mix it up from only drinking bourbon. It's pretty good. It can be cloyingly sweet though. I'm drinking Monkey
really?
Shoulder right now, and it's basically like drinking caramel.
People really like Monkey Shoulder. That has a fan base.
It's definitely good, and it's a great bottle for the price. But
yeah.
I'm gonna go back to that bourbon next time. I
I
think.
didn't realize Monkey Shoulder was scotch. Yeah, the last time I had scotch was Steven has had some. I forget what it was called. It has
Famous grouse.
There's like a picture of a wave on the front. I don't know. It was it came in a box. It was a bit more expensive. Well, that one was so obnoxiously fucking smoky. And apparently
was it peated?
It must be peated, yeah. But it
peated is disgusting.
It was so much smokier than even that that really nice bottle I got him, the fucking Lavergid whatever it's called. Lagavulin, yeah. Lagavulin tastes like wood flavored perfume, but that stuff, whatever he got, was so fucking smoky. Yeah. I really thought it was funny when the Twitter hippo just started sleeping with his followers and
he's living like a baller fucking influencer lifestyle. He's got this insane,
by being a Twitter vigilante. That rules.
Yeah, who does nothing and just screams and like
he's fat,
calling himself a god after like 2 videos.
Yeah. That's good.
And I love how she's like bullying him about it too. Like she knows that he sucks, and she's kind of making fun of him. God, what a fucker. Well, I'm gonna go pee real quick. You can start. Let's start talking about the movie, and then when I come back, I want to hear about this.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go get a beer, so I'm gonna play.
Play some music.
Yeah, I'll play some of the Girls Last Tour OST. I don't know. Let's give me some peppy. It's a little sad. Oh yeah, there we go. Be right back. We're back.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna listen to a message real quick. Give me 1 second.
Okay, as long as you play it on the air.
I'm back, baby.
Yeah.
It was a money thing. All right.
It's better be. Yeah, I've watched a bunch of movies since we last recorded. There's really only one that matters. I did get very fucked up on my own and watch Days of Heaven for some reason.
Okay.
It was okay. Steven and I watched. Steven really wanted to watch The Abyss. James Cameron's The Abyss.
Yes. Yes.
It's a James Cameron movie, meaning it's
It is.
technically incredible, and it's a very generic movie otherwise.
Trite story.
He had to make it, pretty plain because he had to get a bunch of money. And
Yeah, because you
fill up
can't
a nuclear
gamble.
silo.
Yeah, because people don't understand that when you make Avatar and you put $300 million into a movie, you don't get to take risks.
You don't get to
because
go
that's too
crazy
much
with
money
it.
to risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was unimpressive. What we also watched was, speaking of The Matrix and good filters. Now, there were a lot of Matrix ripoffs in the early 2000s. I can forgive that. Matrix made a lot of money. But there's a film, I don't know if you've seen it, starring Christian Bale called Equilibrium.
I thought you had already seen this.
No, I've not.
I thought you had seen Equilibrium. Oh my god.
No, my friend. No, I have not.
Oh my god.
Have you seen it?
I've seen good portions of it. I've never seen the entire movie all the way through. Oh my god.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, you want
Holy
to talk about shit that doesn't hold up at all.
Shit. It's like, I feel like it holds up in that it so perfectly illustrates what's wrong with everything that it's actually incredible. It's like, I've never seen something just that's so wrong in every way that everything is wrong since like Lucy. It's Christian Bale, and it's, oh god, where do I even start? So it's, you know how movies, when they create like a totalitarian dystopia, they have to make it like as generic as possible.
Yeah, of course.
To get everyone who's watching on board, to get the audience on board. So this is a dystopia where the enemy is human emotion itself, and so nobody is allowed to have emotions anymore. And everyone is walking around this huge megalopolis, this brutalist, endless, city. And they're all walking around like automatons, and every day at the exact same time they all stop and they inject prosium, a drug called prosium, into their necks.
Oh, very nice.
Because it's 2002 and prescription drugs are bad because it's 2002. Yes.
Yeah, well, Columbine just happened, and that the fucking, everybody who takes fucking mood suppressants are fucking zombies who are going to shoot up schools and shit.
And they literally just called it Prozac, basically.
Yes.
And everyone's a fucking sheeple, and you're not allowed to have any emotions. And Christian Bale is an elite, like, super soldier, a very high ranking, noble super soldier monk guy who goes to the outskirts, goes outside the city where there's still sense offenders, they call them.
Oh my god!
And murders them, and they also have to destroy any semblance of human art or culture because that's an expression of emotion. And so, the first thing that Christian Bale finds hidden in one of these, and they're all made to look like Eastern European ghettos, these places outside the city, and all the extras they got they all look Russian because they were supposed to look like sad peasants, so they just all got like Russian people. And the first piece of human culture that Christian Bale finds hidden under some floorboards in the outskirts of the city is the real Mona Lisa, and which for some reason they have to hold up a scanner to it and verify that it's real before incinerating it. And wait! Aren't
they going to incinerate all the art anyway? Isn't that?
It wouldn't matter if it was real, but
Yeah,
they have to
yeah,
tell the
no,
audience
yeah.
that it's the real Mona Lisa because that makes it matter.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well,
then
so
they
this thing
burn
that
it.
doesn't make any sense inside the world is only done to affect the audience.
Yes,
And
they would
and it
never
just
have
is
to. There's no
incongruous.
reason they would ever have to verify it's
No,
real.
no, because their job is to destroy all art.
They destroy all of it.
And the thing is that they probably like in this society, do they even know like about original art? What is the significance of original art if all art is evil? Because it yeah, that's fucking stupid.
Absolutely
Nice
no
one,
reason for them
guys.
to do that. And so the movie is like, first of all, a lot of it is like all of the like, you know, culture that Christian Bale comes across and destroys is like white mom American kitsch. It's so fucking funny. Like they find these like hidden rooms behind walls where it's just like all like snow globes and fucking incense and like and it's just like it. I told Steven, I was like, this looks like your parents' house. Like, have you ever been in Steven's house?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's just tons and tons of like, yeah, it's a pure American kitsch, just knickknacks and doodads everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And
In this house, we believe.
Here's a Coca-Cola advertisement poster, like a classic
yeah,
Coke,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
or stuff like that. Like
You
grandfather
get like
clocks, and
yeah, yeah.
shit, and that's what he has to
tin-
burn. It's
like
so funny.
like tin signs that you hang on the wall.
Little tinctures of perfume.
Yeah.
It's all just like Christian Bale hates white women in the movie because it's just all shit.
I'm with it.
It's
It
all
sounds
like
pretty
it's all like a college girl's like dorm room he's walking into and being like, burn it, and they have special guys come in with flamethrowers and burn it. But and then Christian Bale misses one of his doses and he starts experiencing emotion.
Damn, this is a bullshit ass fucking system they got going on. If you miss one dose and you immediately start fucking experiencing emotion,
well, they
time-release
execute so
capsules.
many people is like the premise. It's just like they just fucking are always killing everyone. His own wife got taken away and burned for a sense offense, and he doesn't care because he doesn't feel
Yo,
anymore.
you're,
But then he starts.
if this were our world, your dad would be taken away for a scent offense because he farts so much.
Yeah. But he stops taking it, and then he starts getting feelings. He starts sympathizing with the rebels, and then he starts starts enjoying all of this culture he's coming
native?
across. What do you think the first if you're writing this movie and you have no idea what like good culture is, or you're writing for an audience who doesn't know, like you have the Mona Lisa, what would be like the one other thing, let's say in the category of music, that he finds?
You go for like a Beatles song or something, or like
Even dumber.
Even dumber? What's even dumber than that?
He finds a record of Beethoven.
Oh my god! Oh,
it's the Mona Lisa and Beethoven.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The greatest. Really, it's like this is the pinnacle of human achievement. This is it. This is the state. Okay. Yeah, because I'm a tasteful, classy, hack film writer.
So it's like my only idea of what art is like, oh, it's Mona Lisa and Beethoven.
Yeah, it's like if you went to the Wikipedia article for fucking art. Let me look at art on Wikipedia. Art Wikipedia.
The concept of art. I bet there's like a.
We got Van Gogh self-portrait.
I was gonna say Van Gogh. Fuck. I was also gonna say I bet the persistence of memory, or what's it called, is on there.
No. There's a lot of shit in here. Yeah, here's Mona Lisa. We got Mona Lisa. We got Creation of Adam.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to see. Do we have music in here?
Maybe not an art.
Oh, we got red, blue, and yellow. The modernist painting.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see music. I don't know if I'm going to find specific music in this Wikipedia article, but yes, yeah. You just literally go like search in the fucking dictionary art and music, and you're like, these are the examples that they give you.
It's just embarrassing. And then it's like he's like he stops taking his pills and also the part about it being a Matrix ripoff is and this was clearly added either like right. This was shoehorned in by the studio or someone who was like, sorry, we have to have gun kung fu in this movie, and they added it in, and they made it so bad that I think it was a sabotage. I think it was a Harrison Ford like narration in Blade Runner where they were like, they're not going to keep this in because it fucking is so embarrassingly bad that they're going to be like, okay, fine, take it back out. And the studio's like, nope, great, keep it. So there's like, the movie keeps getting suddenly sidetracked by these horrible gun. They literally have gun kata as that's their style of fighting. That these what is he called? Not a mage. He's like a monk. I forget what they're called. Nobles that they fight in, and it's like there's a scene where he's like shooting guns in like every direction, but his arms are like doing the like. They're made of cardboard, so they're spinning around 180 degrees. Instantly.
Yeah. I've seen the sequence.
It looks like a joke. Yeah, no, it's like they clearly put this in to sabotage it and get it taken out, and they just didn't take it out. It's fucking crazy, and like there's these Matrix gun kung fu scenes where like everyone's just huddled in a circle, so there's no movement. It's just he's kicking and punching everyone at once. Oh god, it's fucking horrible, and God, it's like, and also, let's see, Mona Lisa, Beethoven, Prozac, and so like, and the movie, like, you know, he keeps getting more and more like, he starts sympathizing and he starts trying to, you know, help out the he finds the rebellion. It's called the Underground. It is literally underground. It's under the city where people walk. It's like fucking, oh god. And I thought like,
oh my god, Sean Bean's in this.
I was like, yeah, he dies in the first couple scenes, because he reads Yeats, and Christian Bale shoots him. But the Underground is like a bunch of like cool punk art looking people who wear like overalls and are literally underground. And I was like, okay, the one saving grace at least could be like the twist could be that like the top brass are actually working with the Underground, and it's all a fucking illusion, man, or whatever. And no, that's not what happens. What happens is that Christian Bale uses a katana and fights his way all the way to the supposed big brother, who they call Father. And it turns out that Father does not actually exist, and the real top of the food chain is the evil British guy, who's supposedly Father's second in command, but it's actually just him. So it's just 1984 where there's no big brother. And then Christian Bale kills him, and also he gets a little cut on his lip that looks like a piercing to signify that he's cool and that he knows what's up now. And then the end of the movie is that him killing Father allows the rebellion to set off bombs in all of the prescription drug factories all across this major metropolitan area, and Christian Bale looks out over the destruction and smiles, and because our protagonist is one, and then the movie ends, and then the credits, produced by Harvey Weinstein.
Oh.
And it's like, oh my god,
Harvey gets what he wants, baby.
I couldn't have, because it's a year after 9/11. And everyone is like, yeah, man, you need to set off bombs against evil world-spanning empires. Oops.
Yeah.
Whoops. Like no one learned their lesson. No one's learned their lesson.
No.
And prescription drugs are bad because the government's bad because it's 2002. And everyone still likes Bill Hicks. And and you should read the fucking reviews for this, because it's the most, Steven and I were dying laughing, because fucking it's like it's the lowest level of, it's like, hey, do you feel anything? Then you're the protagonist of this movie, because the bad guy is just like, you should have no emotions. And critics are like, this has some ideas.
Yes.
This could be really dangerous in certain. Roger Ebert, his whole review is about how, like, you know, this could be really dangerous in certain regimes around the world. And it's like, dude, you are fucking retarded. This is the critic everyone looks up to, and he's like,
Roger Ebert giveth, Roger Ebert taketh away.
The most mid-witted guy of all time. Of course, he's everyone's favorite reviewer. He's like, this has a philosophy to it that I think would resonate a lot of places around the world. Like, yeah, you fucking dipshit. This is for babies. What I said was that, like, if this movie had been called Filter, and it ends with like, hey, if you liked this movie, you're not allowed to vote anymore. And and everyone give it a 10 online and show it to your friends. And if they like it, you have to report them. And we're going to put them in this database. And they're not allowed to vote. And they're not allowed to say anything. And we're going to publicly shame them. And the whole thing was actually a psyop. And it was totally, it was a trap the whole time. That would have been fucking amazing. There's so many things they could have done.
Man.
There's so many things they could have done because you have an audience in the palm of your hand thinking like, yeah, man, this is me. We're the ones with emotion.
Make them feel bad about themselves.
Fuck you fucking idiot. You really thought they could have just done that to Christian Bale? Like, you thought that you were the only. They could have twisted it around in so many ways, and they just did nothing with it. And it's like, so much wasted potential for that. Yeah, it's
to just absolutely shit on your own audience. So just
because because it's like, because I was as I was watching the movie, I was like, they think like, there's no way Al Qaeda isn't watching this movie and being like, yes, this is us, dude.
Yeah,
everyone on Earth. It's fucking God, it's insane.
Yeah, we should probably assemble the filter list. We should probably build a 5-movie filter list where it's like you start with like the big filter and then you narrowly work your way up.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch this and determine if this is a because then there's stuff that's like really obvious, you know, where like there's stuff that like if people watch unironically, they're clearly just like a simpleton or I don't know, but I think we could get a good filter list going. We'll have to do that as a thought experiment at some point. But
yeah,
I'll watch this and I'll let you know if I agree. Because maybe I'll watch it and be like, damn, dude, this movie made me feel something.
It's like
in defense, I release a fucking 5-paragraph long article in defense of Equilibrium, and it's like you're just trying to. I find a way to pin you as the villain who's just trying to suppress my emotions.
Yeah, do you feel, dude? Well, then.
This feels like a huge pain in the ass to watch this movie, I'm going to be honest.
It is kind of fun.
Gotcha.
Oh, and the soundtrack is offensively bad. Yeah, but not even good. It's such a bad Matrix soundtrack. Yeah.
Watch Collateral. Watch Collateral for me in the next week.
Oh, you hated that.
And yeah. I think Collateral is one of the biggest pieces of shit I've ever seen.
I've never heard anyone say that movie isn't great. I'm very curious.
It's not
about
even
Collateral.
like it's so garbage and it's obnoxious. I can like there are movies that I'm like at least I can admire them in certain ways. Like I thought that Midsummer was obnoxious.
Sure.
I fucking hated that movie. I wanted to walk out of that. But at least I'm like technically it's like this just isn't. I can understand why people like Midsummer. I just everything about it was rubbing me the wrong way. I didn't like the attitude of the movie at all. But I also just, I'm like, I might just be too jaded to enjoy this movie. But with Collateral, I genuinely don't understand what there is to like in that movie. And I'll have you watch Collateral. I'll watch Equilibrium.
Yeah.
And I would say that those are probably 2 of the pillars of the filter. And then it's a really obvious one, but I would say the base level. No, because I don't. This is going to have to be its own thing. We're going to have to actually do this because I think we can make it happen. I think we can do the 5-movie filter. And also, not everything in the filter has to be bad. The filter could also include stuff that people think is bad that's actually really good and entertaining. I think that's got potential as well.
Yeah, what we're doing there, like, oh yeah, Yeah, I don't know.
It's tough because like I have to be able to separate things that I enjoy for like I've enjoyed them ironically for so long that I just enjoy them genuinely now.
You said that you liked the last James Bond, but people hate that one.
I thought Spectre was genuinely good.
Yeah, that might be one because people hate that, but apparently from what you talked about, from what I heard, it's like people hated it because they don't understand like pulp and what James Bond is.
It's the thing is that Spectre is also better than all of the early James Bond movies too. Spectre is like they just reevaluated the things that people think that the original James Bond movies are, which are also James Bond franchise. That's a plebe filter right there. I'll tell you what.
And Fast and Furious too.
I would say in which way? Is in if you can't enjoy it, you're a plebe. Or if you do enjoy it.
People think that's like trash. Like
no, those movies are genuinely entertaining. Of course, I have zero qualms with telling anybody that I think those movies are fun as fuck.
Yeah.
I've like, I think about Hobbs and Shaw sometimes. Like I'll just rewatch Hobbs and Shaw like periodically, like every 6 months or so. I'll be like, I want to just kick back and have a good ass fucking time.
Yeah.
Plebe, but yeah, James Bond franchise is a plebe test. If you're a fan of the James Bond films, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. In general,
like,
yeah.
I'm telling you, no. You are not allowed. And even
I wonder if I think a lot of people think they're fans of it, but then when you like they haven't seen like barely any of them.
No. The thing is that like there are people who are genuine James Bond franchise fans, and they'll like tell me about like. No, I don't. Like so. Some of them are really bad, but I really like this one, or like Doctor No is good, or From Russia with Love is really good. It's like no, it's fucking not. It's not. It's all boring. It's awful. Like there's a 10 movie run in that franchise that is unbearable, man. And then like there are like 5 maybe 6 really good movies in the franchise out of the 26 that there are
24 and a half.
Well, this is gonna be our thing. We're gonna have to just start shooting movies back and forth, and then we'll come to an episode with what we think needs to be on the list, and we'll discuss it. We'll hash it out because man, because I think that we can really if we put our heads together, we as the most judgmental motherfuckers on the planet might be able to think. We need to off the air create each pleb filter, the one the one and the other, and then we need to put it out. And whoever passes, not say which is which, and whoever passes every single one gets to be the third member of the podcast. God. There's
have
just
2
like
takers.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Because I just the best way to do it is to do a plebe test and don't give any context. It's like plebe test, watch these movies.
That's what I meant.
But like don't even ask like if they think that they're good or bad. Just like, what did you think of this movie? And if there's anything other than outright ire for Rogue One, have you tried to watch that movie?
No.
Oh my fucking god! It's like I feel like I sound like a broken record at this point because I must bring this movie up, but I've never felt more lost in my entire life than like sit and my
not
my
lost
close
like
friends,
confused, just like lost as in
No.
like you're totally not even on the same plane as the people who made or enjoy it.
Yeah, no. Like I'll frequently see people say that it's like clearly a top 3 Star Wars movie, or like, and I'm like, you and I are not the same species. Like we're not even.
You're not watching movies for the same reason at all.
No, but I don't know what reason. Because like it's like the thing is that it's I think it's almost the perfect plebe filter in that it's aesthetically like perfect, like just visually and audio, like with the audio design and everything is as perfect and pristine as you could possibly hope for.
It's like in Men in Black when they had the target tests, and it's like you can't, you get distracted by how it looks. You gotta think about it.
But you should try to watch that.
Even
too.
the parts, even when I hear or read someone explain, even the parts that people seem to enjoy about it, it's like that doesn't sound like something I would like. Like even if someone gave me the elevator pitch for why this movie's great, and I took all of it at face value and accepted that it was true, I'd be like, I don't know if that sounds like it's for me. So I'm probably gonna hate it as much as, if not more than you.
Oh my god, this fucking robot. Oh my god, one of the things I hear more than goddamn anything is like, should
I not be drunk watching it? Because if I'm drunk, I might enjoy it by accident. So maybe should I just watch it like?
There's no. I think there's pretty much no state of mind you can be in. I was like alone in a movie theater, and like I went in primed
Full
to enjoy
immersion.
it.
Yeah.
I was ready.
You paid $11. You were like, I got it.
I got my popcorn. I got my soda, and I was sitting there. And I'm like, yeah, Star Wars, yeah. and I was like about 45 minutes in the movie. I'm like
45 minutes into a 3-hour movie.
There's no hook. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing in this movie.
Well, you're getting. I assume it's just like you're getting lore. And not like movie stuff like characters and because the lore is what's important to people. Like
no, you're getting plot.
Backstory.
You're getting the skeleton of what a movie. Not even the skeleton is the thing, because there's not like arcs. Like the characters don't go through arcs. There's never a point where like you have a firm understanding of what characters they want and why they're doing things.
Yeah, my guess is I bet a lot of people bring this up, but like the movie needs to work even if A New Hope did not exist and never did, and I'm sure it does not.
No. The thing is like it doesn't even feel like we're building towards anything. We're just meeting. I wish I could call them stock characters, because if they were stock that's the thing I realized about Nolan movies recently is like his last two movies, Jonathan Nolan, who is Christopher Nolan's brother, hasn't been involved in writing them. And one of the things that I really fucking hated about his Westworld show, which I watched maybe 4 or 5 episodes of, is all of the characters are stock characters. There's not an original idea behind any of them in the entire show. They're all, you've seen them. They're all lifted from other places. And watching the last few Christopher Nolan movies, like watching Dunkirk and Tenet, there are no characters in those movies. And that's straight. There are actors delivering lines on screen, progressing the narrative, and there are no characters. I got to see if I can find this sequence. Hold on. Have you seen anything from Tenet?
Just like the trailer.
Okay. Here. This is a sequence in this movie. Sorry, nobody's interested in this, but you can suck my cock. We already talked about Ad Taxi.
What's going on?
Watch this and try to understand that what's occurring right now is a character is being explained to the core concept of the movie, and this is like the most. It's supposed to be this completely bean freaking mind bending, like, oh my god, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard. This paranormal shit's happening to him in real life, and this is how they talk the entire time.
Check the magazine.
How?
Dude, I thought I was losing my mind. I was genuinely in the theater thinking I genuinely in the theater was thinking something was going wrong with my brain, because I'm like, there's no way that these people can deliver all these lines without any sort of inflection. This is the whole movie.
Oh my god!
Movie.
I was, even after all that setup, I was not prepared for that. Holy
Keep going.
fuck! Oh, it keeps. Okay.
You're 26 seconds in, and this is them explaining. This is basically if you know how in Primer Shane Carruth's character is freaking out and like getting really animated as he's
They're
explaining.
freaking. I mean, they're like not freaking out, but they're freaking out the way real people freak out, where they're just like, you know.
Yeah. They're getting excited and animated. This is
they don't get super excited, but they're like just fucking extremely confused, and they're like trying to talk. Yeah, they're trying to hash it out, and they're
this
clearly baffled. They're not the best actors, but it's just that one. How?
This person is being explained that there are objects that can move backwards in time because their entropy has been flipped. This is what is supposed to be the main hook of the movie being explained for the audience.
I almost appreciate the autism at a certain level.
One of these bullets is like us, traveling forwards through time. The other one's going backwards. Can you tell which is which? How about now? It's inverted. Its entropy runs backwards, so to our eyes its movement is reversed. We think it's a type of inverse radiation triggered by nuclear fission.
You didn't make it.
What? All right. That's not. I don't like that explanation. They could have come up with something a little more plausible.
They don't have to.
Yeah, I guess.
She's just whispering all these fucking lines.
Manufacturing them in the future. They're streaming back at us. Try it. You have to have dropped it.
Imagine if this was being explained in a Fast and the Furious movie.
How can it move before I touch it?
It'll get there. There's one more, right?
No, but imagine if like characters how they would react to things.
Oh yeah, this
Like,
guy would be ludicrous, fucking flipping out.
Yeah.
No!
like why isn't there like the scientist should be a wild motherfucker who is just like is excited by the prospect of this. You need a fucking Jeff Goldblum. Where's Jeff Goldblum? Why is it this mopey fucking whispering ass fucking British lady? Like why is this?
Because she's a cold scientist who's explained this many times. Yeah, I don't object to like being somewhat subdued, but like
I'm falling asleep in my fucking seat, man. Yeah. I'm about to pass out. This bitch just can't deliver with any sort of enthusiasm at all. And not even if she were cold scientist, she wouldn't be whispering all this shit.
Sure.
Like it's fucking killing me.
I can't play anymore of this. YouTube's getting upset with me. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I might watch that.
Don't try to. Also, like this is the thing with this fucking movie, and it's like I'm not trying to sound like I'm a super smart person. I swear to God, I'm a complete idiot. But they people constantly say they're like, I don't understand. Like it's like, man, I don't even understand how any of this shit works. They're literally explaining it to you right now, and whether or not the actual like scientific explanation makes any sense, you should at least understand the mechanic that's at play, right? So it's like
sort of
once that happens, and obviously there's been a little bit more that's already happened up until this point in the movie where you have more context.
Yeah, Angry Mage asks if I shoot it, does it go back into the magazine? Well, you have to have shot it, but it goes back in. You don't shoot it; it just goes back. I actually don't.
Now here's the thing.
I know it doesn't matter, but you have to create a false memory for yourself so that the thing does what you want it to do, so you can kind of have a telepathy. Is that it?
You basically have to imagine yourself moving both directions in time. So like you have to basically mentally imagine yourself, because the bullet is reacting as if that is as if the past is the future. So you have to be like, I'm going to catch this because I'm going to, the bullet is traveling back. I'm going to go through the motions of catching it to lead it to believe that it's been, it's traveling backward.
Okay.
And again, none of this matters because by the third act, it is all completely superficial. And it just basically means that they're fighting forces who are traveling the opposite direction as them. So they have to be like, oh man, they planted a mine here, well, the mine won't go off if we're going the other direction or whatever, because that means that it'll just be unplanted, shit like that, right?
Yeah.
It's all completely superficial. This movie fucking sucks. And like it's the movie equivalent. It's got all the heart of a fucking cologne ad. It's like it's just
Guys in
people.
suits.
It's exactly it. It's like it's a completely the James Bond movies suck, but at least there's some like sort of soul behind it. It's basically like a soulless James Bond movie with that twist.
I'm not entirely opposed to the idea of creating a totally autistic, soulless movie with just like weird guys who just do stuff, but I don't know.
It has to thematically make sense.
It has to be cool in some way. Yeah, you have to do something. I don't know.
Yeah. I hate this fucking movie.
It has to be very. You better make it very interesting if you're going the
They did not.
If you're going all mechanics, all systems based narrative. But yeah, so movies. Yeah, Equilibrium is. What other Matrix ripoffs are there? Because there's like shit. I can't even think of any. Let's see. Inception. What? Google is not good for this. Oh, underwhelming ripoffs of Matrix movies. Let's see. Oh, I was kind of thinking about Underworld, but that's totally different. I think maybe some of the action is, but Matrix didn't have Kate Beckinsale in that outfit. You know what I'm saying? We're almost upon Vampire October. Me and Steven are going to get back into pure vampire movies. Did I tell you? Did I mention
what are you doing?
We never watched fucking Dracula. We never watched
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Bram Stoker's Dracula. Because I don't know why. I guess we thought it would be boring or something. But it's crazy. It's Francis Ford Coppola going crazy trying to make money.
It's like the last time he tried on a movie.
Yeah. It's all
that's not even like a cash grab movie. That's like well,
I think it was like his studio was just failing, and he was like, "Oh God, please, let's make a huge big budget Dracula movie."
Godfather 3. That's as desperate as he can get.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know. That how did that dude fumble the bag? He made that. I guess he made One from the Heart, that fucking dancing movie. Do you know anything about that movie?
No.
This is the We Talk About Movies hour. Here, you're gonna watch the trailer for One from the Heart.
Oh boy. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Sorry, Angry Mage. If you wanted anything interesting, you're just.
Luckily, I think we have DVR turned on, so he can skip to the beginning of the episode and hear about Odd Taxi. Okay, I'm not gonna put this one on the screen. I'll just play the audio.
In The Godfather, he explored the violent world of organized crime.
That's true.
In The Godfather Part 2, he examined the soul of power and corruption. In Apocalypse Now, he journeyed into the madness of war. Now, Academy Award winner Francis Ford Coppola and Zoetrope Studios take a very special look at love. One from the Heart.
It's been 5 years since my last dream came true. Yeah, what was that? The day I met Hank.
I wish I had a dollar for I really love her.
Oh boy.
I know that.
On all those tubes count death and romance.
Maggie, do you believe
Yeah, one of the biggest flops ever.
Is it? That's great.
Yeah,
it
gets a little psychedelic towards the end, but like, it's basically he's like, I want to do a stage play as a movie, and it's like, don't do that, please. Nobody likes stage play or a stage musical.
Musicals, yeah.
And musicals fucking suck. There are a couple good ones, but they all suck.
Even the ones that are good suck.
On a budget of $26 million
for a musical, oh my god!
It made a solid box office return of $636,000.
It hurts. It hurts to hear. Fuck. Yeah, that'll ruin your whole week.
It's like, oh man, I just spent an entire decade making the best films ever, and you make one mistake and it's all gone.
Happens.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know if I have anything else about movies I've seen recently. Yeah. I don't know. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
I'm rewatching all the Friday the 13th movies.
Oh, again.
No, it's
been like a year.
No, I did it last in 2017, man.
No way.
Yeah, it was when I first moved down.
Oh, maybe. Oh shit.
Yeah,
okay.
I did the Nightmare on Elm Street movies last year. And those are
okay.
There are some genuine fucking blappers in there. But yeah, I'm watching the Friday the 13th movies again. I watched the first one the other night. Yeah, I kind of realized that there's a cheat that you can do, which is if you watch any movie at high enough resolution, for about like the first 15 minutes, you'll automatically be invested. I've only started watching really high resolution versions of movies with like really good audio mixes, and I'm like, ooh, nice! This is so crisp and clear, and that's a gimmick in its own that really carries you for at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, film grain. Yeah. So Odd Taxi is good.
It's damn good.
It's got a lot of elements. They all are well. They're done well. They're explored. They interact well. I like it.
Here's some
Still wish
speculation
they
on
full live action.
That would have been pretty sick.
It would have been a good move.
Some speculation. I'm asking because and you're not going to have the answer. This is a hypothetical, basically.
I have an answer for everything.
Yes. Did Odd Taxi have the same amount of time to be written as everything else? Is Odd Taxi
other anime?
Yeah,
it's based on a manga.
Oh, it is. Okay, I did not know that.
Wait. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're kind of around. I think they must have been planned at the same time because the manga started in January of this year. So yeah, I assume they were both. I don't know which one was written first, actually, but I don't think the anime's like really based on the manga. They were probably written at the same time. Or
yeah. So was this who's responsible for this? And are they working in the same amount of time as everybody else? Or did they just take more time to plan this and everything else is a slipshod sort of
the manga and the anime are both written by a man named Kazuya Konomoto, who has worked on Just Like This, Crowds Respect, Story and Art. That's another manga. Setso Tsumi, Story and Art.
Which one? This was Oriental. Was it Oriental Lights and Magic? Is that what they call themselves?
Light and Magic. Yeah.
Oriental Light and Magic.
Is the animation studio. And also Pix, P-I-C-S, I guess, co-produced.
Gotcha.
And then anime director is Baku Kinoshita.
What that motherfucker done?
This is his directorial debut, it appears.
Nice work.
Yeah.
Nice work, Baku. That shit claps, man.
Neat. Yeah. Music by OMSB, Poonpi, and Vava. Neat.
Well, I'll be waiting your next one with great expectations.
Will there be more Odd Taxi? Ends on a bit of a ambiguous note.
Yeah.
We didn't bring up, but our boy probably just gets murdered. We didn't bring up that it has kind of a downer ending.
I want to think about it.
Unless he has a plan, which he might.
that little girl is going to do. Yes, and he does seem like the type that would be aware of this girl and have a contingency in place because he's a schemer. You know.
Yeah, hopefully.
Something weird about Otokawa is that his voice is he sounds it's a younger man putting on a kind of a huskier voice, which I liked. I think he does a really good job of delivering all the lines and everything. But it's kind of like you can hear the sort of youth behind the voice there. I don't know what the deal is with that. I'm looking at the guy right now, and he's a very beautiful, sexy, baby-faced little lady boy type guy.
Yeah. I like it. There's there was a lot of like I got the animal twist spoiled for me by like a YouTube comment, but there's a lot of good like sort of things that throw you off, especially if you don't speak Japanese, because people were like, no one's actually an animal. But then someone pointed out that a guy called himself an omnivore at one point. But I happen to know that an omnivore male is Japanese slang for basically a beta male. So that's not not necessarily an animal term. And then someone else calls himself an animal, but that must also be some kind of
calls himself
slang.
a porcupine. He
does.
The rapping one calls himself a porcupine.
That could be that. I don't know if that's a Japanese thing, but that also kind of works as a metaphor, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He's talking about how he's got spines and he'll jab you and shit, and like, that doesn't necessarily need to be literal. I don't feel cheated.
Yeah, totally. So that's good stuff that throws you off. But there's also hints in the other way where it's like, hey, wait a second, why are there just regular cats? I felt like such a dumbass because I thought it was just one of those things. Well, I thought it was one of those just like Mickey Mouse Pluto things, where it's just like
Pokemon, where it's like they have birds and Pokemon, like they go, like it's like, enjoy this nice steak, and it's like, did you murder?
Right?
Did you kill a fucking Tauros to get that steak? You animal?
I mean, they could, I don't know. It could kill.
There's no death. There's no death in Pokemon. Ash is fucking 10 years old forever, and his mom will be sexy forever. Oh my god! No, but I'm not. We can't just keep talking about completely unrelated movie shit. But I saw, for whatever reason, YouTube's like, you're gonna watch the trailer for the new Pokemon movie, and I'm like, sure, man.
Why not?
The new Pokemon movie is just called The Mystery of the Jungle, and it's like, what? that's all you got. You've reached a point where you
go into a jungle. I think that's what the Hey Arnold movie was called too.
Yeah, but like they just don't they don't even put the name of the legendary that's in there anymore. They don't have any sort of fun, catchy name. Just Legend of the Jungle. Is where we're at.
It's Mystery of the... Wait, is it Secret of the... What is it?
Is that it? Maybe Secret of the Jungle?
I think at first you said Mystery or Secret of the Jungle. I don't know.
Pokemon the movie Secrets of the Jungle.
Secrets of the Jungle.
Which is actually, that's also going to be the subtitle for the next Black Panther movie. Because they're...
Boom.
But you know what the real secret is what the fuck are they going to do? That guy died.
Yeah, they might have to just kind of kill him in the movie, and they'll have a sad scene where they bring him up or whatever.
Yeah.
The next movie will open up with them looking at a picture of him, and then they'll have a younger, lighter skinned black guy to take over the role. That's just like all video games. You have I watched a little bit of Gamescom, I think it was, and I saw like 3 trailers, and every single one of them, you play as a college aged, light skinned, afro haired black girl, and it's like, I fucking love it. I hope it keeps going, like, because all of the like huge mosaics people made of all of the bald dude bros from like the late 2000s, early 2010s video games.
Wrath. We got
which
that
by the way they
Creed.
did that because hair is like annoying even then. Hair is computationally expensive, but and they do, so who cares? But I can't wait 10 years from now when they just make the hugest, and every one of them looks exactly the same. It's just like they always have a backpack. Even in the Halo trailer had like a college backpack, afro
black lady,
afro black girl. Yeah.
I remember that Far Cry.
God of
one
War.
Of those Far Cry games did that.
God of War was like, all right, we already neutered Kratos. Now he has to befriend a young light-skinned black girl. It's fucking amazing.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Everyone. I didn't see one without one.
Wow. That's
like
Halo. That's the core
it
video
was
game audience.
Halo, the new Saints Row, and I saw and the new Call of Duty, which takes place in World War II. You play as a woman. I don't think she's black, but you play as a woman in World War II.
Man, yeah, man, that takes me back. Yeah, the thing is that I knew a lot of black lesbians in college.
Yeah.
I was in a dorm where on my floor there were, I kid you not, 8 black lesbian girls. The thing is,
how many did you turn?
I wasn't really interested. We'll say that, but the thing is that they don't play modern games. They only play GameCube. It's all they play.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is like the oldest. This is the lukewarmest take possible. But yeah, all this shit is made for white women. Like, yeah, none of them care about that.
Black girls, they just only play like.
If they play video games, yeah, they're playing fucking Mario
play
Kart.
Final Fantasy. They're playing Final Fantasy X. They're playing Final Fantasy X too. Again, that's what they're doing. They only want to see
the one with
Japanese
the idols,
boys.
the one with the musical scenes.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. They're only playing pretty Japanese people games.
Everything is reminding me of. I normally do not recommend stand-up comedy specials because I don't watch them because they're all bad.
Yeah.
But Shane Gillis just put one out, and it is so fucking funny. I would highly recommend it. It's incredible. But he has a bit where he goes like, they keep making these slavery movies. I was talking to my black friend. I was like, do you guys even like these? And he goes, what? I thought these were for you. He's like, who's watching these? Everyone hates them. They're uncomfortable. So yeah, it's like that.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, they loved the black lesbians. Loved Yowie and
yeah.
What else did they like?
Black Butler.
Ouran High School Host Club. Fucking what else are they into? I spent a lot of time around them. God, what else did they like?
No, they're just playing a lot of Smash and like, I don't know.
There was one other thing, I can't put my finger on it right now. They like Pokemon a lot, obviously.
I'll tell you what, they don't like pussy. It's weirdly averse to pussy.
Yeah, these black lesbian girls.
Yeah.
They were chill.
Oh yeah, I bet they're. Yeah.
I liked them. They kept to themselves. They'd be like, "Oh shit, you like anime?" And it's like, "No, not really."
Even to them, you gotta keep it up.
Have you taken that up with Steven yet?
I totally forgot to bring that up. Fuck.
Fucking asshole.
I need to feed his ass. Yeah.
Yeah, and then also, did Connor move to Nebraska? Is he gone?
He just disappeared one day. Yeah,
he's gone.
A couple weeks ago, I came over to Steven's to help him set up his new TV, and I was like, "Where's Connor?" He's like, "Oh, he's gone."
Well, you didn't buy?
No, the week before that, I had come over. Steven invited me over and was like, "Hey, like Connor's moving out soon, so you should like come over and like we should hang out because it's probably gonna be the last time." But even then he didn't know when he was like, "Yeah, sometime like in the next week or two or next month." So he had no idea even at that point when he was going. And then I went there a week later. It's like, "Oh yeah, he moved out."
What?
Yeah,
that is fucking. You know what? It just only makes sense. It could only have happened that way.
Yeah, no, of course.
Is she divorced yet?
Dude, who even fucking knows? It's weird. I just saw a scene from that movie, Up in the Air with George Clooney, and apparently that has a subplot where his daughter follows a guy to Nebraska, and he's like, "Nebraska," and I was watching like, "Hey."
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that's wild.
And that's why I was talking about friends living in the Midwest who might, purchase some firearms and then leave them accidentally in the trunk of my car. Oopsies. I have no idea if I'm gonna be forced to get vaxxed. I'm really riding the line over here.
Through what? From what?
Isn't there a national mandate?
No, that's like I think it's businesses with over 100 employees.
My business, my company definitely has more than 100 employees.
I would be. I mean, we'll have to see. I barely have been keeping up at all because the pandemic's over. I don't know if you noticed.
I went to the grocery. I went to the grocery store the other day, and everyone was wearing masks. I was like, "Wait, what? What's happening?"
Yeah. People have decided that they're like,
are people fucking retarded? What are you doing?
They just decided that the pandemic was back on, and I'm like, no, you realize we're done. Did you guys?
You could just be done, We were done for so long, because everyone just decided we were done, and now you're like, oh, actually, no, we're not.
Yeah, done. No, that's a complete filter right there. It's straight up. I was like, I went to the grocery store, and I'm like, because I had heard rumblings about, it's like, yeah, people are probably going to go back to wearing masks. So I'm like, yeah, right, whatever. And then I went to the grocery store and people had actually done it. And I'm like, what if you guys are all vaccinated, right? Like, I live in Austin. We've got like fucking 95% vaccination rate. It's like, well, like, what are we? Am I supposed to just be expect to wear a mask for fucking ever? It's like,
that's what's so great. That's why I have to keep absorbing early 2000s movies, because it's so fun to see how early 2000s, like, paranoia is good because government bad, and now paranoia is bad. Government is cool now. Okay, get with it.
Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! It's like and like, this is, look. I'm not. This is punching way down. And these are probably all robots on the internet anyway. Like, none of these people are real. None of these people are real people who have real opinions on anything. But the amount of people who are like pro, like, just mandatory vaccines, and like, the amount of people who I've seen are like, it's like they're discussing not allowing unvaccinated people into hospitals if they're dying of COVID, and everyone's like, good, and it's like, what?
Yeah,
it's like, what are you guys are insane.
Yeah, and that's why and I just watched a movie where a guy blew up Pfizer basically at the end of the movie, and I was like, hell yeah, dude, you did it. It's so easy to see how that I remember when the New York Times was like, hey, did you know that wearing 2 masks is actually better? And the next day, my mom came over and she was wearing 2 masks. And it was like, if the New York Times was like, hey, did you know that if you wore 2 coats, it's warmer? And then the next day, everyone's wearing 2 coats outside. It's like, did you just not realize that that would, do you not feel stupid that you didn't, like, think about this? How do you go through
super early on during the pandemic, when they were just like lying. they were just like outright, like, obviously lying. They're like, it's like, oh yeah, no, masks don't actually do anything to prevent this disease, and but also we are also running out of masks in the hospital for all of our doctors, coincidentally. It's like you're telling me that like the masks aren't going to limit transmission in any way. Like, do you think that I'm stupid? Like, do you think that, like, there's a, like, I don't, it's not obvious and transparent what's going on here?
No, even like, that's a cover up. They're retrospectively covering their asses. We're like, no, we were just saying that because we needed all these supplies. But in reality, it was just like they were doing the standard, like, well, there's no evidence, there's really no reason to wear these.
Oh my god! And then you got like fucking like a year ago. You've got I guess it would actually be, what year is it? It's 2021. This would be a year ago, literally. Like, we're probably pretty close to the day where they were having debates, and you've got like Kamala Harris saying that she wouldn't take a vaccine that came out under a fucking Donald Trump presidency, and now we're at the point where the vaccine that was part of Operation Warp Speed came out. And everyone's like, you got to get this fucking thing right now. It's like, you guys everyone's a goddamn fucking lunatic.
Yeah, it's like, really, I mean, I was reading someone point like obviously that like if this was the Trump vaccine instead of the Biden vaccine and it was making people's hearts explode, this shit would not be on. This would be gone. This would not be on shelves anymore. We would be naming streets after children whose hearts had been blown up by the Trump vaccine.
Yeah, I simply do not know what to do.
You just gotta hang.
Because
I'll tell you. I'll tell you what you gotta do, brother. Just keep cocking your bolt action rifle and don't do anything.
I've decided that I no longer care what people like. I'm going to absolutely remove myself from any sort of like normal expectations of society. I'm not going to even like engage with that in any capacity at all, and I'm going to obsessively and manically focus on my career and my interests, and not even give the slightest bit of shit about anything else.
My plan is to keep lying. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I got the vaccine. No, I don't have the card on me. Yeah. I'll have to find it. Yeah, I definitely got it. Yeah.
Well, because like that's the thing is like I did get vaccinated, and like I immediately misplaced my card because I'm like, I won't need this. Because it's like you gave me this card that I'm like, why would anybody ever ask me for this? Like it's like, oh yeah, well this will be done. This will like everybody will have their fucking shit together in a few months anyway, and it won't even be a thing, you know. Yeah. And then immediately we're in mode where it's like, do you have your Vax card on you? Do you have an image of your Vax card? And I'm like, yeah, I guess I do, but like what the fuck are you asking me for? I told you I got it. Like, why are you? Man, people like you are making it hard for people like me, dude. People who don't care and have the vaccine, and you're lying about it, and now you're out there getting everybody sick with that new Delta variant.
That's true.
Now you're killing my grandmother.
I'm a harbor of, yeah. Wait, you got vaxxed before or after you got the poops after we went camping?
I was vaccinated in May. Oh,
okay. Maybe that wasn't COVID we had then.
No, I think you might have had it because you were sick and like congested and drippy and gross. I was hungover.
Yeah, but you got sick the week after that, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I just probably picked something up on the plane or like while traveling.
Maybe.
I definitely didn't feel anything like what COVID would be.
Yeah, mine is, I guess, plausible still then.
Yeah, you got those antibodies.
Yeah, I should get tested.
But apparently that doesn't even get you out of it anymore. People still expect you to get vaccinated even if you have the fucking antibody.
Yeah,
it's like because like the efficacy is your immune system will have completely forgotten how to deal with this in 6 months. It's like really, like really, is that the case? Is that true?
No,
really?
I mean like officially, like apparently you have like 10 times more antibodies if you actually had it.
Yeah,
but that also doesn't matter really, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna obsessively make.
I'm glad we finally addressed this whole COVID thing. I
don't think we talked about it at all.
Someone needed to bring it up finally, and I think
this is all going to age really well. When like 3 years from now, all of the stuff in like movies that took place during the pandemic and movies that were.
I can't wait for the movies. I can't wait for the movies where there's just like thousands of dead bodies in the street, and they're gonna pick one brave doctor who bravely like stood up to the medical community. It was like, no, vaccines do work, and everyone hated him for it, but he told the truth, and that's what prevailed in the end. Or they're gonna make a movie about like because you remember how like you could get like banned from Facebook for saying that like it came from a lab, and then the Atlantic wrote a story where it painted these people as like independent researchers uncovering the truths about the origins of COVID and how this lab leak thing could actually be true. And it's like that just made it immediately publicly like acceptable to say, but like, what the fuck is an independent researcher if not a conspiracy theorist? But you just call them
Steven Soderbergh is working on that screenplay right now. That's like
they're independently researching a conspiracy theory, but it's like they're independent researchers.
No, well, these ones have credentials because they went to college for it or whatever. Fucking yeah. Who was I? Oh man, what was I thinking about recently? Oh my god, some of the people that I've met that have medical degrees.
It's not good. We're not in a good situation.
I was like some of the people I've met, they're like, yeah, I'm finishing up my doctorate right now, and like I'm gonna go into, like I'm gonna be a general practitioner or whatever, and I'm like, you are the person in front of me are going to be in charge of somebody's, like it's in charge of somebody's overall health.
Yeah.
A person.
People are going to come to them and be like, "Hey, my neck hurts all the time," and they're going to be like, "Okay, well,
here's some opiates."
Do you want?" No. Well, they're either going to be like, "Yeah, here's some opiates, go away," or they're going to be like, "Okay, well, I could prescribe you this obscure like Soviet like muscle relaxant from like the 50s because I don't want to be the opiates guy." And yeah, there's nothing I could do because people go to doctors thinking like, "Hey, the doctor's gonna fix my pain."
Well, he's gonna.
I'm 44 and I work in construction, and the doctor's gonna fix my back problems. Yeah,
yeah.
My bones are. Well, I got this knot in my back. I gotta go to a doctor.
Yeah, my mind is well. Ever since I done start working on the construction sites, my knees no worky.
My knees are starting to hurt real bad. I bet I gotta see a doctor about this.
Yeah, I must have pulled something.
Something's wrong with my joints. I need I bet there's something wrong. I gotta see a doctor to make my joints all better.
It's like, oh my god, my son's been having my son's been going through. Well, I guess he's my daughter now. She's transitioning, and they've been going through a lot of depression. I bet I'm depressed as well.
I've been sad ever since my wife died. I gotta go to a doctor.
Yeah, well, I don't know what's wrong with me, Doc. My wife died 3 months ago, and I'm still not over it.
All my kids hate me, and they say that I'm heteronormative, and I work 12 hours a day at the site. I gotta go to a doctor because I'm real sad.
Yeah, ever since my wife took both the kids and I'm paying $40,000 a year in alimony, something's really. I know I only make $53,000 a year, but I'm sending it all over to my ex-wife, and I really need to get this sorted out. Something's
all
wrong
my
with
kids
me.
are always smoking weed and getting into car accidents, and I'm real upset about it. I gotta go to a doctor. Yeah.
My son called me a lame the other day. I'm not lame. I'm just hurt. I don't fucking.
I'm a sensitive guy.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So like this person who is like just is. I'm not gonna give specifics, but like sometimes you'll talk to people who are going in the medical field and they just don't have anything going on, and like they have no interests or personal experiences at all.
Yeah, there's no way this person has dug through medical papers as much as like the average weirdo I follow on Twitter. You know, there's no way this person is. There's no way this person knows like like the link between like carbohydrate consumption and like mental illness or like fucking. They don't know about any of these weird.
They're taking a 5-week course on how to help women through fucking separation depression or whatever the hell it is, postnatal depression.
I was reading. Whatever. I just saw a guy I follow on Twitter posted this week. It's like, hey, here's a paper. Fucking, it turns out that what was it? I think it's vitamin K2 and vitamin D. If you take them together, it makes your dick an inch bigger on average. Like, all right,
nice.
See, no, there's no way any doctor knows that. You know,
vitamin K2. That's vitamin K2 and D3 together. Yeah, I'm thinking we're getting.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was thinking it's like women go through postnatal depression, and it's like It's like, oh man, suddenly all of the attention that was once being given to me because I was pregnant is now being given to this baby.
Yeah. Well, also like oh. there's a shit ton of hormones your body's producing while you're pregnant that just flatlines as soon as you give birth, and
I was using it as a way to demean women. But if you would like to use it, if you'd like to go for a medical explanation that's completely reasonable and close to the we can do that too.
It's a I'm sure it's a multi-factor issue.
I was making a blanket statement about all women being narcissists, but if you want to be fair, we can do that too.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is like I went from being taken care of to having to take care of something.
Wait a minute.
I'm sad.
How are you?
I don't sleep at all. I don't sleep at all, and I have to clean up poop constantly. Something must be wrong with my brain that I'm sad.
Yeah. I'm no longer allowed to sit around eating ice cream all day and demand my husband go to the store.
My husband doesn't chop up. My husband doesn't chop up pickles to put it in my ice cream. I got to do it myself now.
He doesn't baby bird me all of my meals anymore. Like I feel like now that he's. Yeah. Now, can you fucking imagine? You know they have. Oh God. In Europe, you got there's obviously paternity leave is a common thing if you work a real job, but then they have you have paternity leave, and Nordic countries they'll have 9 months of paternity leave and shit. It's can you imagine a worse thing to have happen where it's there's an expectation that you're gonna stay home for 9 months and just deal. It's I already just dealt with my wife being a baby for 9 months, and then now I have to deal with the screaming infant all day when I really want to just go back and work on my career. Sorry, women. These are jokes. These are called jokes. Vitamin K2.
I think it was
bone and heart health. Yeah, I'm thinking there's gonna be some bone health.
If you take too much of both, then it could you can get overcalcify your blood. But yeah,
Oh boy. I have to say that I've been taking a lot of various.
You've been hard on the subs.
We got to end this soon, but yeah, but I've been hard on the supplement game for a few months now, and I can tell you that it is 100% cheating. I could feel immediately the amount of effort that I've been exerting to the amount of results I've been getting at the gym is absolute fucking bullshit.
Okay, what can I take that will preferably both make me want to lift weights and also not make me feel like shit, keep me from feeling like shit as soon as I lift a weight, because every time I try to lift, I have a headache afterwards, or I do one deadlift and immediately have to shit, and it really just interrupts my whole flow.
You need to be taking creatine. At the minimum, you need to be taking creatine if you're working out at all.
I can get back on the creatine. I think I have a bottle of it. Yeah, still in my.
You need to take creatine. It is far and away the biggest thing that you can do.
How much?
I've been taking. Hold on, let me go check my. I'm gonna bring my bottles out so I can give you the full rundown.
All right. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, when I got a pregnant wife, I'm not letting her fucking eat out of any non-stick pans. When I was doing creatine, I think I was doing a teaspoon in my protein shakes.
So it's so effective. The ones I've been using, I don't know which ones are the actual ones that are really helping, but I'm trying a whole bunch and just kind of shotgun blasting it. It's so effective that I have, since I started working out, my weight I've gone up by 5 pounds, and I am significantly slimmer than when I started. Sweet. And it's the only time I've ever felt like I've actually experienced significant muscle growth and pretty dramatic fat loss at the same time. You know what I mean? Generally, I've gone through bulk cycles before if I want to, gain any sort of mass. But with this, I feel like I can just kind of keep working at the same pace and get pretty significant results. So I don't know which one of these is the one that actually works. This is just what I'm doing. So I've got this is now a health podcast. Let's see. I'm taking like 5 grams of creatine. It's like between 4 and 5 grams of creatine.
What time of day are we talking here?
I generally try to take it after my first meal. Because creatine's not anything like, it's not like a pre-workout really. Because creatine's just going to kind of exist in your bloodstream.
You know what? I got to get back on glycine too. I've heard so many good things about glycine.
I don't take glycine. I'll have to look into it because this is like a thing, like a buy once, cry once kind of thing, where you just buy in bulk and you just have enough forever.
Yeah. Same with glycine. You get a big bag of glycine for like $10 or whatever, and it just lasts forever.
I'm taking Forskolin or Forskolin.
How do you even spell that?
What's that?
How do you even spell that?
I think what
a hilarious name.
F-O-R,
yeah, Forskolin.
Skolin. Yep, I'm taking that.
How much?
I'm taking.
What brand?
I'm taking an equivalent that is an extract equivalent to 2,100 milligrams. This is Noosa Pure. So it's like, again, it's an extract, so it's a more concentrated dose than if you were just be taking the root.
Yeah.
So like if you were taking the root, it'd be 2,100 milligrams. I think the actual extract itself is like 500 milligrams. Then I'm taking Tongkat Ali, and I think this is probably the one that's doing most of the work. I think this is the one that has the most credentials and everything. But yeah, Tongkat Ali.
Long Jack.
Which this one's been pretty. I think this is the one that's working the most.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some other shit in here. Oh, these are all like Indian, by the way.
Sure.
And then
what's the brand on the Tongkat there? What do we?
That's
what would you recommend?
Sotoom. Hold on.
Just spell it.
Toomi. Sotoomi.
Okay.
Yes. And I'm taking Tongkat Ali. And then the last one, which was the first one I was taking, and I think it might be the least effective, or I might have built up a tolerance to it, is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha.
Yeah.
Ashwagandha. And very briefly, might have been a placebo effect, but I very briefly had a 2-week period where it was pretty awesome, and I was having a lot of energy. I think I might have built up a tolerance, but those 3, and then creatine on top of that, I've been feeling fucking good. And like I have kind of like found a gear that I didn't used to have, where like a gear that I've not had since the beginning of COVID, where like I just have significantly more prolonged
do any of these have
workouts.
calories? I am supposed to be fasting.
I would be surprised if they did by any significant amount. What was
They're probably pretty insignificant though, yeah.
What did you say was the glycine?
Glycine. Yeah.
What is that doing for me?
I've heard like it's one of those things where people claim it does everything.
Oh, it's an amino acid. Okay.
Yeah. So, but just like I've heard like, you know, better workouts, mood improvement, better sleep, stuff like that. Let's see if I can quickly. What have the peeps on Twitter been saying about glycine recently? Coke glycine combo. I never remember any of my dreams. This guy's solution: cheese, ripe banana, and glycine before bed. Or glycine. Okay.
You know, the big thing for me is just if I want to have fucked up dreams that I remember, I just don't drink. It's like don't drink for like 2 days, and then by the second day you're like really into deep sleep. Mm-hmm. Honestly, not drinking is like a fucking superpower. It's if you go like fucking 3 days without drinking, like, oh my god, my head is so fucking clear, and I'm sleeping really well, feeling good. But boy, the liquor, it's just so good. It's hard not to. Yeah, let's do some glycine. Let's add that to the cart. And then how do I get my dick bigger? This is K2.
But D3 and K2, yeah.
Okay. Well,
I think
let's get us some bone health.
I think in the study they were like mega dosing the D3 and taking like a normal amount of K2, but you probably could take just a regular amount of D3 and take more K2. I think it was not a full inch. I think the average was like 0.6 inches, which is still for some of us. Maybe
that's not insignificant.
That is not insignificant. That is a sizable percentage for some of us.
Yeah, that'll give me a little closer to 9. You know, it's a little closer. Which is actually 9 inches is where women can start to feel it. I don't know if you know this.
Thunder out my window. A lot of dreaming references with glycine. Have some weird dreams, maybe.
All right. I'll do this glycine. I'll get this K2. I'll let you know how that goes. And, then I'll just have this insane stack kicking around in my fucking body all the time. And I don't know which one of them are doing what. My heart will explode after a week or whatever. And you can blame it on the vaccine if you like, if it's convenient. You can be like, well, my good friend Ethan died of a heart attack, and he's a healthy individual. You can blame.
You're just like, yeah.
Yeah.
You're on 18.
You know what we'll do? If I feel a heart attack coming on, I'll go throw all of my supplements in the dumpster, and then you can use that as a cover.
And put on a I Heart Moderna shirt.
Yes, Pfizer gang. Fucking. All right, let's end this thing.
Oh yeah, we gotta be done. Okay, thank you everybody for tuning in.
Take care.
We're gonna go out on the. An episode of Odd Taxi was gonna be serious when they busted out the short opening. It was like, oh shit.
Yep.
They made it together a special edit just so they could fit 30 seconds more stuff in the show because there's a lot of content. Good TV program recommended. Bless you. Bless you.
Oh my God. Thank you.
We'll be back soon, everybody. Take care. We love you.
Bye.
Gang Stalking on Twitter. Podcast at gangstalking.com. Send us your regime, your not like a manifesto, like your workout, like your supplement regime.
Oh, we're gonna let you know that you're a plebe next time.
Yeah, sorry.
Visual 行動で日々を乗せた針が晒してるノイズ僕は背景になって君にとって所詮ゴミ処理リズムしたレジュメじゃ解けない夏のリズムげなりさなれる街に縁取られ